US President Donald Trump, ever since he assumed the office at the White House over 4 years ago, has failed to be free from controversy. Trump's ascendancy to power itself was shocking to say the least, as he had defeated popular candidate Hillary Clinton in the 2016 presidential elections amid reports of cyber hacking aided by Russian interference. And now there are reports that the top US executive has paid minimal taxes in over a decade, an accusation he has strongly denied. Good morning, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan, and these are the headlines of the hour. A total of 1,573 new cases of COVID-19 confirmed in the country today. Failure in contact tracing results in community transmission in highly populated cities. Meeting between Nepal Communist Party chairman duo failed to decide on setting criteria for appointing new ministers in the cabinet. The New York Times says it has tax records for US President Donald Trump and his companies, which reveals Trump paid no income taxes at all in 10 of the last 15 years. And Rajasthan Royals register a stunning victory over Kings 11 Punjab in a night of record run chase. SAMSON and Tewatia signed for the Royals. A total of 1,573 new cases of COVID-19 were confirmed yesterday, taking the total number of coronavirus cases in the country to 73,394. Meanwhile, 10 individuals succumbed to the virus yesterday, taking the COVID-19 death tally to 477. According to the Health Ministry, a total of 10,123 samples were tested through the PCR method yesterday, taking the test tally to over 988,000. Some 809 new cases were reported from the federal capital, out of which Kathmandu district alone reported 633 cases, Lalitpur reported 104 and Bhaktapur reported 72 new cases yesterday. Morang district confirmed 172 new cases, Chitwan 83, Surkhet 76, Kailali 56, Banke and Bardia 33 each, and Baglung 32 cases. Meanwhile, 885 individuals were discharged after registering full recovery yesterday. With this, the number of individuals registering full recovery has reached 53,898, taking the recovery rate to 73.4%. The Health Ministry informed that there are 19,019 individuals with active coronavirus cases are in various isolation centers and home isolation. The Kathmandu Valley reported more than 17,000 COVID-19 cases in a month, taking the infection tally to over 21,500. The federal capital, along with Biratnagar, Birganj, Bharatpur and other cities, have witnessed community transmission due to its dense population and sluggish government mechanism for contact tracing. The Kathmandu Valley had reported 4,398 COVID-19 cases, with 3,457 cases in Kathmandu district alone a month ago. The number of cases in the capital surged by over 17,000 over a one-month period, despite 3 weeks of prohibitory order, taking the tally over 21,000, which includes more than 17,000 cases in Kathmandu district alone. The local levels, along with the government, have failed to contain the spread, resulting in community transmission, which according to the Health Ministry is due to high density population and feeble contact tracing. The local authorities have been facing challenges in containing the spread of COVID-19 in densely populated cities, including Biratnagar, Birganj and Bharatpur, along with the federal capital. There were 1,457 active cases in Parsa district at the end of August, which has been reduced to 144 as of latest update. However, it would be too early to say that the district has been successful in controlling the virus spread so far, despite prolonged lockdown and prohibitory orders. Instead, the local authorities have stopped sample testing in asymptomatic cases, although COVID-19 spread have been reported in the community level. Likewise, the local authorities have not given priority to contact tracing as well. As the Health Ministry has decided not to test samples of asymptomatic individuals, the contact tracing process has been affected, raising further challenges in controlling the virus. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli is preparing to restructure the cabinet for the 11th time. The incumbent majority government, led by Premier Oli, was expected to provide political stability, give momentum to economic development and maintain good governance. However, even after a period of 2.5 years and reshuffling the cabinet 10 times, exhibiting instability, the government has failed to deliver and meet the public expectations. We have more in this report.
The ruling Nepal Communist Party is mulling over the possible cabinet restructure. Ministers are uncertain of the fate as the party has not been able to come up with a decision regarding the issue. The incumbent government was widely expected to be politically stable, give momentum to economic development, and fulfill public expectations since its formation some 2.5 years ago. However, to the contrary, the government remained unstable due to the inter-party dispute. Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli was engrossed in holding his power, for which he reshuffled the cabinet 10 times. Premier Oli has been merely focusing in restructuring the cabinet despite leading the majority government, while there are still a few portfolios vacant since months. Prime Minister Oli, despite running a two-third majority government, restructuring the cabinet frequently has destabilized the government, affecting good governance, corruption control and development process.
Majority of the daily wage workers have been jobless due to the extended lockdown period and prohibitory orders imposed in the country. With the festivities just around the corner, laborers from the Tarai and rural areas of Dolakha have been migrating to urban regions of the district. And in this context, we had asked the daily wage workers in Dolakha what problems have they been facing due to the loss of jobs. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Public voice.
बारबाट आको रोजगारीको सिलसिलामा यहाँ कोरोना सर्छ भनेर मान्छेहरु उ गर्छ र काम पनि त्यति पाउँदैन चाडपर्व पनि आउँदै छ दशैं तिहार अनिखेर पैसा कमाउनु पर्ने काम पनि आज त्यति राम्रो पाएको छैन पक्की ढुक्क गरिकन
काम पाउँदैन अब लकडाउनको समय छ हिँड्नु जतातता हिँड्नु नि गाह्रो छ
धेरै ठाउँ कामहरु पहिले सिध्याउने काम थियो हाम्रो त्यो कामहरु अब सिध्याउनु समयमा सिध्याउनु पाएको छैन अब अहिले समय त्यो कामहरु सबै स्थगित छ के धेरै कामहरु
And now time for our segment Public Pulse, where it texts us with their opinion.
Public Pulse.
What's your take on the government's preparations to give a weekly 2-day holiday to employees? And your options are option A, unjustifiable, option B, negligence in service delivery, and option C, tourism promotion. The voting is on. Tap any WS selector option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And let's move on to sports update. Lionel Messi scored a penalty as Ronald Koeman's era as Barcelona boss began with a comfortable 4-0 La Liga win over Villarreal. Ansu Fati was the game's outstanding player and scored Barca's first 2 goals with a first-time finish from a Jordi Alba ball and then a low drive from Philippe Coutinho's pass. Fati also won the penalty which Messi scored. Barca had the game wrapped up by halftime as Pau Torres turned Messi's cross into his own net. Villarreal offered little opposition with their only shot on target coming in the final minute of the match. Messi is the 6th player to score a goal in 17 different La Liga seasons, joining Real Madrid's Sergio Ramos, who joined that club on Saturday. It was Messi's first game since trying to leave his only club in the summer. Messi, aged 33, submitted a transfer request claiming he was allowed to leave for free because of a clause in his contract, but Barca said he could not leave for less than 700 million euros. Messi reluctantly announced he would stay because no team would pay that price and he did not want to take the club to court. And now time for our special segment of the Beat.
Youth population that had returned from the Gulf countries in the face of the pandemic has started collective vegetable farming in Palpa. A group of youngsters in Boga Ghuma, led by local resident Durga Bahadur Thapa, has started the vegetable farming after leasing 15 ropanis of land. The group has also made use of some new farming technology for better produce. At the start of the lockdown, they had a difficulty taking the produce to the consumers, but they are making good profit in recent days. Likewise, another group led by Hari Basyal that had returned from abroad amid the pandemic has also started vegetable farming. Along with vegetable farming, this group is also involved in commercial farming of cattle. The lucrative business of Rudraksha, a prayer seed especially in Hindu culture, is also facing crisis amid the coronavirus pandemic. With the businessmen from China unable to come to Nepal amid the lockdown and prohibitory orders, Rudraksha seeds amounting to some 2 billion rupees have been stranded in Sankhwasabha district. There are some 80 Rudraksha trees in the grove of Ishwar Khatri, a local resident from Khandbari, Dhungedhara in Sankhwasabha. Even as the Rudraksha seeds have all ripened, the unavailability of Chinese businessmen means that the trees are still laden with the seeds even as it is well past the plucking season. The Chinese businessmen last year had bought Rudraksha worth 2 billion rupees from these farmers in Sankhwasabha. The local residents of Okaldunga have assisted in reconstruction of houses of the underprivileged families who were affected by the 2015 April earthquake. The houses of the marginalized families who are deprived of the government reliefs with the initiation of the local community. 79-year-old Ganesh Man Bhujel from Kerauswara in Siddhicharan municipality, Okaldunga, was sheltering under the trees since the devastating earthquake 5 years ago. Bhujel, who is partially hearing impaired, does not have any other family members. The local community members took an initiation to build an earthquake-resistant house for Bhujel. Likewise, the locals coordinated to build a house for Ashmita Gurung, who has been sheltering under a tent with her children for the past 1 year after the death of her husband. The locals have completed 33 houses and construction of another 20 houses is underway for the marginalized people like Bhujel and Gurung who are deprived of government reliefs due to lack of knowledge on administrative work, despite their names being listed among the beneficiaries.
And before we wrap up this morning news bulletin, here's a look at the top stories one more time. A total of 1,573 new cases of COVID-19 confirmed in the country yesterday. Failure in contact tracing results in community transmission in highly populated cities. Meeting between Nepal Communist Party's chairman duo failed to decide on setting criteria for appointing new ministers in the cabinet. The New York Times says it has tax records for US President Trump and his companies, which reveals Trump paid no income taxes at all in 10 of the last 15 years. And Rajasthan Royals register a stunning victory over Kings 11 Punjab in a night of record run chase. SAMSON and 280 are signed for the Royals. And those were our latest headlines. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KTVS. Stay safe and good day.